Hi, I'm Nitya. Welcome to Vidyapeedam. Today's class is continuation of previous class. I'm going to discuss about common features of living organisms. So living organism, it includes animals, plants and microorganisms. Plants cannot change their position from one place to another place, that is they don't have locomotion. But animals have a locomotion. They can change their position. So next common feature of a living organism is growth and reproduction. And some defining properties for living organism, that is metabolism, cellular organization, consciousness. These are the some defining property of a living organisms. So first one is growth. Growth is nothing but it increase in weight or number. Multicellular organism grows by cell division. That is the animals, plants are grows by cell division. Plants show growth throughout their lifetime, but animals show growth only during a particular period of their lifetime. Unicellular organisms grows by increase in cell number. Apart from non-living things can also increase mass by accumulation of material. For example, mountain. So during growth is in living organism, mass add internally, non-living things mass added externally. So we can conclude growth is not a defining property of a living organism. Okay. So growth is not a defining property of a living thing. Next one is reproduction. It is a process by which an organism produces young individual of its own kind. Reproduction may be asexual, sexual and vegetative. Asexual means single parent involved, mostly occur in unicellular organisms. It's a quick method. There is no variation for babies. That is, the babies are cloned morphologically and genetically similar individuals. For example, hydra, fungi are the some example for asexual reproduction. Next one, sexual reproduction. It involves participation of two parents. One is male and another is female. Formation of sex organ occurs, exhibit genetic variation, that is, the parent and the baby have some variations. It's a slow method. Example, animals. Next one is vegetation. It is also same as asexual reproduction. In flowering plants, some of the vegetation parts, that is root, stem and leaf, these are capable to form a new plant. Vegetation are two types, that is natural and artificial. For example, natural vegetation of potato, onion, ginger. Artificial vegetation is cutting of rose, layering jasmine. About vegetation, we will discuss on coming chapter, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. So next defining property of a living organism is cellular organism. All organism made up of cells. We can classify organism into two types based on number of cells present in the body. First one unicellular, second one multicellular. Body contains one cell only. That is example, amoeba, bacteria are unicellular. Multicellular means body contains many cells. Example, animals, plants. Consciousness means awareness regarding the surroundings. It is a defining properties. Light, water are some example for consciousness. Metabolism, it is the process by which your body convert what you eat and drink into energy. During the biochemical process, calories in food and beverages are combined with oxygen to release the energy your body needs to function. That is metabolism. So next we are moving to biodiversity of a living organism. In this world, there are 1.7 million to 1.8 million species were already found. Different type of life forms come together in one platform is called biodiversity. Diversity in living organism. Next we are moving to diversity in living organisms. We look around, we will see a large variety of living organisms like trees, insects, birds, animals, etc. And some of the organisms that we cannot see in our naked eyes, that is microorganisms, but they all around us. In this world, there are 1.7 million to 1.8 million species were already found. Different type of life forms come together in one platform is called biodiversity. We can't study all the characteristics of a species, it is not easy. So we can classify the organism based on very basic shared characteristics. Classification is the arrangement of organism into categories. This technique of classification of organism is known as taxonomy, and the Swedish botanist Carolus Linnaeus has developed the modern taxonomic system. So, taxonomy is a branch of biology dealing with collection, identification, nomenclature, description and classification of plants and animals. First, we will collect the organism or species, then identify which is plant or animal. Then we will give one name for the species and we will describe about the species and classification of animals. So Carolus Linnaeus has developed the following hierarchy of groups to explain the taxonomy. So first one is species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom. In this hierarchy, kingdom is the highest order and the broadest or category are species. Species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom are the hierarchy of taxonomy, and in this hierarchy, domain is the highest order and broadest category, and species is the lowest order category. Next one, binomial nomenclature. We all have name and with surname. Likewise, the plants and animals also have two names. The naming culture of different organisms practiced uniformly across the world is known as binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature has genus of the organism and second word begins with lowercase letter and define the species of the organism. Binomial nomenclature must be written in italic and also known as scientific name. Binomial nomenclature is nothing but the scientific name of a species. For example, the binomial nomenclature of human is Homo sapiens. Homo means the genus and sapiens means species. So next one, tiger, Panthera tigris. Next one, mango, Magnifera indica are the some example for binomial nomenclature. In 1990, Carl Woese says we can classify organisms which is higher than kingdom. Further, based on the difference between eukaryotics and prokaryotics, classified into three broad categories, namely archaea, that is archaea bacteria, eubacteria and eukaryote. So archaea means it comprises the bacteria that live in the extreme environment. Eubacteria means it comprises the bacteria that found in everyday life. Eukaryotic Eukaryotic means it comprises almost all the world's visible living things. The above given 3 domains are further categorized into 5 kingdom classification. Before studying about 5 kingdom classification, we will study about the eukaryotics and prokaryotics. What is eukaryotes and what is prokaryotics? Cells are fundamentally categorized by prokaryotics and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes means prokaryotes are the smallest and the simplest type of cells. Prokaryotes have no true nucleus and no membrane bound organelles. Example, bacteria. Reproduction is asexual. Eukaryotes means are the complex in structure. Eukaryotes have a nuclei, membrane bounded organelles. Eukaryotes genome consists of numerous chromosomes. Reproduction is sexual. This is eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Now moving to 5 kingdom classification, that is Monera kingdom, Protista kingdom, Plantae kingdom, Fungi kingdom, then Animalia kingdom. So let us discuss about each kingdom in brief. So first kingdom is kingdom Monera. It comprises the unicellular organism and it is microscopic. It is prokaryotics, that is no nucleus. The reproduction is asexual. For example, budding, fission. Example, bacteria, hydra are the examples. Next kingdom is Protista. They are unicellular eukaryotics. It is similar to Monera but more developed and complex. It contains nucleus. Plantae. All plants from smallest such as algae to the largest such as pine, mango tree are studied under this kingdom. Next kingdom is Fungi. It is a group of eukaryotic organisms that comprises microorganisms such as yeast, molds and mushrooms. The organisms of this kingdom do not make their food, they are basically parasitic. Animalia, it includes all the multicellular and eukaryotic organisms of animal group. It is also known as Metazoa. So thank you. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to Vidyapeetham, and thank you so much.